What's up, guys? Ronin Man here. I just want to give a little update. I want to say first, thank you very much for everybody that commented on my post in YouTube community about the skin cancer, and I wanted to give an update that's been taken off, and I'm very happy about that. That's kind of a little short story in itself. I never had skin cancer before. It's the very first one, and it is a very scary thing to happen because when you start the journey, you don't know what kind of cancer it is, when you're waiting to test. And then when you finally find out, the doctors, it's not that you can't trust them, it's that they're worried about your mental health. So they kind of hold things back, and I don't like that. I like a really honest doctor, actually. And most people prefer to not know or to get kind of a sugar-coated version of things. I myself, I really don't like that. I like a really, just like this channel, I like a really straightforward, straight up, whatever it is. So I still don't know if he got it all. I think he did. He seemed to take out a big chunk of meat. So it should be good. And I don't want to make a bigger deal out of it. But I just want to say thank you to you guys. And for me, it was a struggle because it's always a first time with something. It's like the first time you don't know what type of cancers there are. You hear these stories, people share stories. I don't care about details, as you guys might guess. If you've been to a summit, it's more about other things. And so, I still don't even remember what kind of cancer it is, but I'll tell you this, there's 3 types. And it seems like there's 2 names for the second type, the one I had. Basically there's basal skin cancer, which is not dangerous really, but you have to usually get it taken off. Then there's melanoma, which is the worst, and I had the middle one. And I read it was like sarcoma, then I read something else. So anyway, it's, the first doctor, which I really trusted, was a really cool guy, actually. He said it's the middle one. So don't worry about it too much, get it taken off and move on. So it's kind of good, and just to kind of finish this, is that they didn't say like avoid the sun every single minute. And that's what happens when you get melanoma. You got to start like being a monk. Like it changes your whole life. Like if you want to be smart, you wear those hats with the big coverings on the back of the neck. You don't go in the sun. You basically become a ghost, and, that's what I was kind of afraid of because I'm such an outdoor guy. I love sports. I love the outdoors. I just love being outside, breathing fucking air. And I don't like that covering up and hiding. It's not my style, I like to take things head on. So anyway, that one's good. And I'll get my stitches out on Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock. So then we'll get some update on that. But I wanted to give you guys a couple topics here that you've been asked. One of them is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard on the trial. I will say that the first thing I want to say is I didn't follow it that closely because honestly, after my court case was so painful emotionally that any kind of court procedures are really painful. Like I know too much now because I represented myself for almost 2 years in a battle, and it was brutal. It was just brutal. And so a lot of the memories are still coming up, and I've been just about basically 2 things come up, just so you guys know. One thing is I remember things I should have said, or things I should have put together. Like, I should have said that. When they said this, I should have said this, and that bothers me, And at the same time, I know logically I fought a very good battle. I did a good job, actually. And I fought against a senior partner, 2 senior partners, a lawyer and an assistant, and my ex. And it was brutal. It was just a brutal case. Unfortunately, it's a private, closed case. So it's like, when Al Capone got, that's the kind of case it is with the type of case that it was about the child. It's not custody, so you guys know. It's something else. And it was just, I didn't think I could lose. I thought there was no way because it made no sense. Like logically, I hadn't done anything that would make this terrible outcome happen. So I thought, well, at the end of the day, the judge is going to see that. And, I feel like, not only did the judge not see it, I feel like the judge was actively against me. And I actually recorded her outside of the courtroom talking about I thought very, very fucking biased and totally out of line and outrageous for a judge. Now, the good thing is that recording, even though it was accidental by my brother, I can use that publicly and I can contact the newspaper or whatever I want to do. It's not part of the court case that is closed. So I probably will do that at some point because I feel like it's a human rights violation. I really do. To my daughter, mostly, and to myself. I just don't feel, I don't think it's right. It's not some feeling I have. It's nothing to do with my ex. It's the court. I think it was really, really not good. Like terrible for justice. And it was obvious, that I was like really wanted to be a father. I still to this day, it's hard for me to believe it because it's just like, no, that couldn't happen. I'll read off the requirements for that court case and people will be like, you don't have any of those. Like you haven't done none of those. And I'm like, yeah, but I lost. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. There's only these criteria, X, Y, Z. And you don't match any of those. And it's like, true. I have facts, And it's like, didn't matter. It did not matter. It just did not matter. And very, very difficult because many different type of regrets. One of them is that I didn't, remember certain points in the case because I did, a lot of work by myself. So I was by myself. I was thinking. And sometimes I just couldn't think fast enough about new things they were throwing at me. I've never been in court before. So, but, even the other lawyer said, he fought very hard. And they said, they said in their rebuttal at the end, I can't say it. Actually, I'm not supposed to say anything about the case. But basically, I got the strong feeling that I made it very difficult for them. And, sometimes that's the best you can do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best you can do. You got to look. Here's the thing. Whenever you really encounter something really crushing, here's how you save yourself, okay? Is you do what you can do, okay? And you focus on that. And you really appreciate that you're doing what you can do. And you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be extremely honest, okay? Like, cutthroat honest with yourself. Otherwise, if you do this on some kind of false belief that you did your best, but you didn't, and it's a really important thing, like the future of your daughter's life, you will regret it. In real life, you can just say stuff and kind of get away with it, and then you'll kind of feel, okay, I knew I didn't have that because of my own conscience. I knew I had to do my fucking very best. I had to be a genius. I had to be an absolute fucking lawyer straight out of the box, no stress, new motions coming in every fucking day. I had to figure them out, no emotion. I had to figure out what they were really saying, response, the laws, everything. It was so difficult. But here's the thing. I feel, and I know deep down inside, and this is not a kind of thing I'm saying to you. I'm saying to me, is I know I did my best. Okay? I know. I did my very best in that court case. My very fucking best. And I'm very happy to pass that on in the future to anybody concerned, and, in my life, and I really thought I was doing it for her, this is one time when a man has no excuses. No excuses. You got to stand up. Fucking A. And I did. And so what saves me from really having a hard time is that I know I did my best. That might sound like a small thing to you. You might say, yeah. You might actually not even be honest with yourself enough to know what your best is. You know what I mean? Like you got to doubt that. I'm not talking about I made a big effort. I'm talking about my best. Like I took care of my body. I tried to ask questions as many people. I fucking stayed up all night. I can't even tell you. I could probably, I got very little sleep, but it was so focused that it didn't actually affect my judgment until after the court case. I was a mess, because I had really put a lot of things on hold, and it was so meaningful for me. The whole experience was beautiful, actually, because I know as a man that that's all I can do. And then this dovetails nicely into the health thing. And one of my friends is worried right now about very serious cancer. He had a test, and it's not looking good so far. He hasn't got the results, but it's not looking good so far, and he's extremely worried. And I said to him, look, here's the thing. The minute that I went in, I had this weird growth on my leg during the summit. I had sent the picture to a doctor. He, through rigmarole or whatever, hadn't looked at it, told me he hadn't got it yet. And he's like, I haven't got it. You sent it to the wrong avenue in our hospital, whatever. Okay. So then I came back from the summit. I came up Santa Cruz to the doctor and, I saw him personally. I sent it again. Finally, in person, he was very attentive and very good. And we got a biopsy and we got the thing taken out eventually, a introduction to a specialist, dermatologist. And so I did what I could do. I was up against a couple things. One, the doc, I guess I sent it to the clinic that I was going it through, but I guess it was the wrong one to send an email to. A picture to, and I sent it to. So then I sent it again. I think it was the same one. But anyway, let's just say it could have been a mistake on their part, actually. But let's just say it wasn't. Let's say it was the wrong one. I didn't know the right one. They told me to send stuff to that one, and I did. And see, when you do that, even if you lose, even if I lost the battle, I was like, because I don't go to the doctor much. For me, going to the doctor is a big fucking deal, right? And I was like concerned about this fucking thing. Anybody who came to the last summit in Austin saw my leg, and it was an ugly looking thing. And there's not many ugly things on my body. So it's like that thing just looked fucking ugly. You know what I mean? Like a fucking hydra, and now, and I got it off. So I told my friend, I said, listen, because he was very worried about much more serious cancer than me. And I said, look, you went to the doctor and he had an MRI there's some kind of a purple dye that you can do. And he did it. And I said to him yesterday, because he was, kind of thinking about it. I said, look, here's the deal. You didn't just go to the doctor. You went to the doctor many times and you did the test they recommended, which is a hardcore test, right? MRI with IVN with a purple dye, that's about as good as it gets. And these days, and that's an advanced procedure. And he did that. And so now he's waiting for the results. I said, listen, man, you did what you could do. Pat yourself on the back. Think how many times you didn't do that for yourself, in your life. How many times you put things off. You didn't do it. You just didn't perform to your own requirements, And I said, look, you did, man. You did. You performed to your requirements. You did it fast. He didn't want to do it because he's quite active, sexually. And he didn't want to do it because he's afraid, very naturally, of being impotent. It's a very serious thing. It's like fucking, there's all kinds of guys I know who have gone through that surgery. And it's brutal and miserable. You want to take care of your body, guys. Young guys, when I harp on the health stuff, I ain't kidding, man. Make your life better at my age. Trust me. And it's connected. What you do now matters to everything I'm talking about. So if you're going to take one thing out of it, if you're a young guy, is to absolutely take it dead serious, almost like you're a fucking ninja or a special operations guy, is that you take care of your body. Every choice you make, better food, more this, you know what to do, do it. Do it every day. Make a decision. You don't want to be a sick old guy. You just don't want to do it. It could happen anyway. Life is tough. But listen, man, I've been doing it long enough that I can tell you for a fact, I am so fucking grateful when I wake up because I know. My mom was visiting last weekend and I took her around. I was a good son. It was fucking awesome. It actually was a really fun trip. And I knew, my mom said, you did everything you could to be healthy your whole life, except for take risks. That was the one kind of blind spot I had as a kid. But everything, like putting things in my body, working out, sleeping right, getting off drinking and drugs, doing everything young, making the right choices. Yeah, even down to little things like in the morning, I'll eat frozen almonds. And I take them and I bite them with my front teeth. Because I know if you don't work out your teeth like the gym, your teeth will rot and go out. It's a long story, but just trust me on this one, is that your teeth need blood flow, okay? And one of the simplest things you can do every single day to have your teeth when you're older, and believe me, it matters. People say, oh, I got the fake ones, it's fine. Listen, a lot of people don't know much about, medical stuff. So they don't really, at the bottom line, they don't, this is one of the problems with lying, is I think lying is also not knowing the truth. You can lie without even knowing you're lying. And knowing the truth is so important. One old guy, when I was, he gave me one of my best jobs when I first got to Japan. Old guy liked me. And he said, and we were eating lunch, and he said, do you eat anything hard? I said, no, I don't think so. Like, not anymore. He said, I'm 73, he was, or 74. He said, look, I always, every morning, he said, look at me, got all my teeth. He goes, my friends, none of them have teeth. He goes, every morning I give them a little workout. I take an almond and I bite it with my front teeth. I go tooth by tooth, just one bite in the morning. And get the front teeth, get the back teeth. But the back teeth get a lot of exercise, so the front's the big one. And this little thing is, it seems so small. To a young guy, you don't see the connection. Our brains are not perfect, right? Just do it. Just do these small things. Just sleep at night. I went to sleep at 9 o'clock last night. I was tired as fuck. I helped my friend do some work. I worked my ass off. I was fucking beat. And I'm still beat, actually. My hands are all covered in blisters. And my back's sore. Like, I worked my fucking balls off. Honestly, I helped a friend do some labor work. I'm going to go into this in a future episode. In Santa Cruz, I've been helping guys do labor. I wasn't sure when Thailand was going to open. I was just here. I wanted something to do. I wanted to learn how to make a house. And I started asking, by myself in Japan or wherever. I started asking guys, hey, can I work for you? Can I do some stuff? And guys were like, yeah, I guess you could, And, I did all kinds of things. Concrete. I did, we built walls, concrete, flat, surfaces. I don't know the words. I just did it. I was working with a guy who was doing it for 40 years, but I did a lot. And did a little finishing, which was not easy, and it was a lot harder than I thought. And I also helped my friend with his landscaping business, and it was more than landscaping because we kind of get these projects where there'll be a whole field of like these thick weeds that grow in everything grows in California, right? So fast. You can see in the video how this place is bountiful, man. It is bountiful. California is. Unfortunately, it's bountiful for the weeds. So people own these big empty lots and fire hazards, so they got to get them cut down once a year. And so I've been doing that for guys, and it's a good pay because it's a one payment, right? Boom. And if you work faster, you get more money because it's a job. It's a job by the set price, right? And so I've been doing those kind of jobs and really fucking enjoying it, actually. We're enjoying my, using my body, and while I'm getting ready to go to Thailand. And it's been great. I've learned a lot. I want to do a whole episode on that, what I learned, because I think it'll be very interesting for guys who never worked in the trades. And I think, guys in the trades are going to be like, hell yeah. I wasn't fucking around. I worked my fucking balls off, okay? Ever since September, when I've been up in Santa Cruz, I've been working in the trades, different trades every day, and learning new stuff and learning everything, how the business works, how people think about it, the politics of it. It's very interesting, and the different tools. And, it's been really great, actually. It's been an interesting time. I'll say that. But I want to do a serious one about the trades later. I don't know when I'll do it, but I would like to do a real serious one for the trades guys, because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff people don't know about the trades. And I guess I should say a little about the trades. I worked, basically, put it in a nutshell, I'm the kind of guy who works, you give me something to do, and I'm going to fucking do it. Like, take that hill, I'm taking the fucking hill. Or I'm going to die. Like, that's the way I am. That's literally the way I am. Even at this age. The one thing I will say is there's a point in your life when you have to kind of tone that down. You have to say, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Because what happens is, it's not so much time in your life, actually. No, that's not the lesson. It's not an age thing. I'm talking about the trades now. The trades, if you work too hard, right? If you're acting like you're in some football team trying to get the fucking field goal before the timer goes out every day, you will wear your body out because you'll get all these repetitive injuries. And those things don't go away if you have them long enough. And I really learned, one of the top things I learned is that heart isn't everything. I used to watch the guys in trades and I thought they were lazy. I'm serious. I did. I fucking thought they're lazy. And I still kind of think a lot of them are. But at the same time, if I look at how fat a lot of the guys in the trades are, I'm like, there's a limit how hard you can work if you're fat, right? It's like, if you're obese, like, there ain't no way you can work hard. Like, there's a limit. Somebody's going to disagree. I hope you do. Make the examples of how you did it. But everybody knows it slows you down. There's no fucking debating that. And if you're ripped and you're in great shape and you're working your ass off, you know what I mean? You can just get more done. Just like you can climb a mountain or whatever, Same thing in the trades. But sometimes I realize That's my downfall, is I just take the heart all the way with things. You know, with my court case, like if I could detail what I did in that case, it would be a movie. I'm serious. It would be a fucking good movie too. And I just am serious. I don't know about you guys. I'm just so focused when something's important, or when there's a challenge, or when I'm set with something that needs to be done, you know. And I don't want to overstate this, because I know this is one thing I know about Ronin guys, is there are other guys like me. Not all you guys are, but there are other guys just like me. So I don't want to make some kind of deity. I work so fucking hard. It's too hard. It's true. And I would say that not many guys are like that, actually, in real life. And I'll tell you, I got some evidence for that. When I was working up in Ben Lomond, one guy said to me, one Mexican guy, he goes, "You are a credit to your race." And this old guy, and then this other dude, this American guy who had been doing it forever, he said, "I ain't never seen a white guy work that hard in my life." He goes, and these guys were not fucking around. You know, I was looking at the guy, I was like, fuck, that's interesting. Like, I really do work hard. I'm like a Wolverine. That's why I win fights. I'm just a fucking Wolverine in fights. I'm an absolute fucking Wolverine. What's my training? Instinct and Wolverine, you know, and channeling aggression from past wrongs, you know, basically. And, you know, that's it. And desire to end it. Just get it done. I want the fight done. Whatever I got to do to get it done, it's going to be done. I want to go have a coffee and have a nice life, right? But, you know, you got to rethink things sometimes. Even if it's your heart and it's something, you guys know how much I still believe in that. You know, what you give is what you get. And it's like all for your fucking internal self. But just know that no matter how strong you are, no matter how athletic you are, if you move 105 tons of dirt every 3 days for a long time, trust me, your body will give out. You'll get plantar fasciitis, which is this painful thing on the bottom of your feet I had. It's just going away now, pretty much gone. You'll get tennis elbow. You'll get things that you just can't stop. And it doesn't matter if you're 20, 15, or 50. It don't fucking matter. Everybody gets it. I talk to guys that I work with, and they're like, man, I've had that forever. The other laborers. The guys I work with, all from overseas, all Mexicans, or Honduras, and places like that. And, you know, it was fun. I learned a lot about the culture, too, about the culture, within the culture of laborers, because the laborers are mostly from Mexico these days. So there was a lot there. I was very, very I'm very grateful, I got to say this, that I did that work, even though I fucking beat myself up so much that I really do need to take a real rest. Like, when I say a real rest, I mean like minimum 6 months not doing this, you know. So when I get back to Thailand, I will be trying to get those repetitive injuries under control. And that even includes not walking as much because of the bottom of my feet. So what I'll do is I will swim a lot. I'll swim probably 3 hours in the morning, something like that. That's kind of my plan. So anyway, that's kind of an update of what I'm doing. The Johnny Depp thing, I forgot to say that. Yeah, the Johnny Depp thing. I'll say this. You know, people are asking for my take on that. And like I said, I watched a few spurts. I did. So I'm kind of updated on what happened. But I got to caution you guys. And I don't want to caution you guys. I want you guys to be happy. I know a lot of guys are happy about this. One of my good friends even contacted me and said, hey, can you get your court case overturned now? Now that, you know, not all false allegations are believed, and the judge will sometimes side with the man. And, you know, my case is permanent. I signed something, it's permanent. I can't do anything. And the worst thing is I can't talk about it. That's the fucking worst thing, because it's such a learning experience for everybody. But I will say this to you guys about that court case, is that one of the things you need to know is that one of the things that's very important to know is that life is a very, very long journey. And that this Johnny Depp thing, it is like basically this chipmunk's coming right up to me. He's so cute. He's coming right up to my face. No way. Hope he doesn't have rabies. There's another one watching me. How crazy. I never seen him get so close. Crazy. He's looking for some food, I guess. He must be hungry as hell. But, hey guys. The thing is, you guys, if you're taking, like, if you're feeling all happy about this, take this to heart. This court case means zero to you. Nothing. It means nothing. And what it means, it's, Johnny Depp is a very famous guy, and he has a lot of money, and he was able to fight injustice because of the massive amount of money he has, the massive fans. One thing Amber Heard said was right, is that Johnny Depp's fans are serious. And the reason why they're serious, but she didn't get this part, is that she was lying. The judge knew it. And so, the fans are like, hey, this ain't fair. Johnny's getting fucked. And, I'll tell you something about, one thing I will say about Amber's statement is she said, this shows that, how difficult it is despite the amount of facts. I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that it is almost impossible to win a case like that. And even money-wise, because you got to, when you're a real guy, right, normal fucking dude, you don't have $100 million. You care about money, And that's a big difference with Johnny Depp. He cared about his reputation more than probably $100 or $200 million he lost, because everybody believed the court in Britain when they sided against him. So it was a losing thing for Johnny, but he did it because he wanted to make a statement. And even the judgment wasn't as good as you think. The judgment was that he has to pay her $2 million, and I think she has to pay him $15. But here's the thing. She doesn't have 15, and she's not going to pay him. Okay, is my take. And here's the funny thing about court judgments. What a lot of guys don't know is there's tons of court judgments that never get paid. It's just it's a victory of some form of relief or something. That's all. It's not a real victory would be putting her in debtor's jail until she comes up with the money, borrowing, selling her house, selling her bicycle. That would be a fair thing, because when you owe 15 million, 13 million, whatever it is, you got to fucking give up everything you have. Everything. Your clothes, sell them on eBay. You should fucking be down to prison garbs. And that ain't happening. So don't get too happy about that part, because Johnny's going to pay the $2. Here's the thing. Even in the judgment, my guess is, nobody knows, but you can watch over time and see if I was right, is that Johnny's going to pay the $2 and she won't pay the 15, and he'll come out as a -2 plus a minus a lot for the judge and for his time and for all the result of the defamation that she did, okay, in her op-ed, right? So he paid. This might very well be the end of his career. But he didn't care. He's got the money. He's Daddy Warbucks, and he wanted to make a statement. That's very important for you to know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing for you, okay? It is a very good thing. But it's kind of like, now, if you look at any injustice in history, you know what I mean? Somebody survived, some kind of camp, they escaped. It shouldn't make you too happy, because that a lot of other people went there, right? And same thing when a cow falls out of the back of a truck and escapes, being slaughtered. The other cows, there's really nothing for them to really be really happy about, if they don't want to be eaten, right? I'm not saying I'm against meat. I eat meat. I fucking eat hamburgers. But hey, if you're a cow, man, fucking, basically I'm your enemy. I've eaten a lot of cows in my life, and I'm telling you, it's a difficult decision for me, because to be honest, I don't want to kill any animal. I don't like to hurt things or people. I'd prefer, just so you guys know, I'm not into soy. I see a very bright future in growing meat in the lab, using DNA and growing meat without no needed, vaccines or anything, because it's grown without an animal, just in the lab in a petri dish. I see great future in that, and I can't wait till that meat comes out. It's already out. Some company in Singapore already made a steak you can eat, but it costs $30,000, so it's not quite there, and it probably didn't taste as good as a real steak, although I heard it wasn't bad. But let's put it this way. Let's look at the things that really show how much it doesn't help you, that case. Okay, well, I'm a perfect example. Did I get a chance to be with my daughter? Nope. Nobody's calling me, and they won't. And that's the reality for me. How about all you guys who were divorce raped? What happened to you? Anybody calling you to give the money back for the false allegations? Nobody. And is the risk of, I think that if I was going to put it in a nutshell, I would say my channel is pro-human. Okay, I'm pro-women and I'm pro-men. But because of the courts and because of the way that they have acted, okay, we're talking about the courts here. The laws are fairly fair, but it's the implementation. And until, I think until judges start going to jail, I really think that. I think that's how bad it has to get, is where they put innocent men in jail, took their children away. If you kidnap a kid, you go to jail, okay? Judges are doing it all the time. Guys email me all the time with the facts, here's the other thing. I'm not one of these guys who I get a piece of paper and I believe it. Go off on, some article like, oh, this is the way it is. And then later you find out it wasn't true. Go back and listen to some of my old videos and you'll see. I'm very careful. Not perfect, but I'm very fucking careful. I am very careful. I take my time because I don't want to spread any kind of propaganda at the same time as I want to do very deep dive critical thinking. That's a tough balance, very tough balance, because I want to use my intuition too. I don't want to wait till it's too late, okay, to finally admit it, like some fucking liver, idiots. They'll wait till the kid's kidnapped and then they'll say, oh, I guess that was it, gonna happen. Whereas somebody else is like, hey, that guy's doing that, that girl's doing that, that lady's doing this, the other kid just, I'm not a guy who waits till it's too late. I like to say, hey, it's happening now. Keep your eyes open, protect yourself. Don't wait till the idiots get it proven to you. A lot of, I thought about making my own news channel because I've seen things before other people many times in my life. And a lot of my friends are like, fuck, you should have a channel, about the news, just about current events, just sussing out what's true, giving my take, and being careful at the same time is trying to nail things before they, you know what I mean? If you wait until, for example, the Germans invade Poland, it's too fucking late. So that's the problem with needing all the facts too. So I see all the variables and I feel like there's a balance in the middle. And that's the balance that I walk in my life on this channel and in my own judgment. And that's how I don't get too crazy about things, is because I wait and I think, right? And I talk to my very smart friends. So if you're getting all crazy about some issue, this is the right channel to be on, because it is difficult these days. And there's a lot of news that's out there that, turns out not to be this way. And from, whoever, the quality of all this journalism has really gone downhill, And I would say the quality of people doing journalism has gone down. It used to be a prestigious job, but now it's not. Now it's a part-time gig. It's almost like driving an Uber, You get $75 for an article. You think the guy's famous. You think he's got time to talk about, whatever's going on in Chechnya or something. What is he going to do with $75? Like, really? Nothing. You know what I mean? He's going to look at a few blogs. He's going to use his own fucking bias. He's going to write an article. So I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, because a lot of it is just the reality of today's world. And that's what you need to know. It's important, because if you think everything's against you and it's a conspiracy, you're going to get all emotional. You're going to get all shut down. Don't be shut down, man. It's not all conspiracy. It isn't. A lot of practical reasons why this shit happens, And I think when something is dark and, I would say, inexcusable, as what the family courts are doing, I think it's time for a major... I think the FBI should be involved in the court cases and be listening to them and overturn the ability to open cases up. Just like we do this when a guy's in jail. We give the ability. If we know the guy's innocent, there is a process you can do to appeal. But you can't really appeal a lot of things. You get one chance, and a lot of times it's based... Actually, if you haven't been in a complicated court case, won't know what I'm saying. I'm talking about years later. You should be able to appeal anything about children. Anything. If it turns out it was a lie, you should be able to go in there and say, hey, maybe I didn't do a good job. Maybe I fucking, you know what I mean? Sorry. I wasn't a lawyer. But here's the facts. Now I see these were the most important. And I want to lay them out right here. A, B, C, D. It's impossible for this to happen. A, B, C, D. Boom. And the court should listen. As it is, it's a fucking machine. It's a fucking machine, and it only goes forward. And basically, as it is now, guys only lose. And that's why I tell you guys, with a heavy heart. Because you guys know how much I like to connect. You know how much I love people. But I really got to tell you, after being in the States for 2 years and seeing it up close in my own life, talking to lawyers, I talked to my own lawyer. He told me a lot of stuff about his case. Guys, I got to say, if you're smart, you will not get married in Western country. Sad as it is, whatever you got to do to not get married. I just got to say it. There's no hope from this case. There is no hope. There's nothing. Do not have hope, okay, in other people changing. Okay, that's one of the biggest problems with hope. Hope is about what most people say is I still am hopeful that this is going to happen. The judge is going to see this. Person's going to change. The environment, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. It's all based on other people. Never have hope. Give up hope. Okay? Totally. When it comes to anybody but your own actions. Okay? And I think the ultimate hope, which is the hope that you're going to, at the end of the day, it might be, I think it was one of the Beatles, I can't remember, they said, life is what happens while you're making other plans. And, Ronin Man is a perfect example of that for me. It's a perfect example. I just love you guys, and I love the whole thing about it. And every day makes me happy, It does. It fucking does. All the fucking videos and comments and emails and meetings and summits and friendships, it's fucking, dude, I would have never found this if I took the other road. All this has come since my horrifying loss. As soon as I was on the road to losing, this is when it all started, And I did it because I had to, and I did it because there was no one to tell me I couldn't. If you have a woman in your life, you're trying to start a new business, go back to the one is women, you don't need women to believe in you, That one, it's fucking gold, because I would have never been believed at 50, whatever it was, years old, that I was going to make a YouTube channel and it was going to be a major success and it was going to be almost the meaning of my life, and bring in so many great friends, so many people that think the same way I do, and it's like, and listen, you guys are like me. You can take criticism. When you're wrong, you can take it, and you really think. You don't just respond. You really think and make changes. But I'll tell you this, it ain't about admitting things. Admitting is what the SJWs do. Making intense changes to your life so that it never happens again. That's what I'm talking about. Not admitting. They have really elevated admitting in modern society. It's like, well, he admitted it. Doesn't mean anything. Not to me. Because he's going to get punished. That's why you admit. Your back's against the wall. No, it's when you quietly make changes, internal, external, so that never fucking happens again. Okay, that's change. I don't want change. As you guys know on my channel, I'm not into losing weight. I'm into getting in shape and being in shape for the rest of your fucking life. Forever. Okay? If you're not doing that, and somebody in Austin knows what I'm talking about, you're not doing it yet. You got to fucking do it. This is the Ronin way. You get in shape and you stay in shape for the rest of your fucking life. You set up the fucking patterns and you stop lying to yourself and you totally are honest with everything you're doing. If you ain't done it yet, you don't know what I'm talking about. You need a spiritual change. That's one thing I learned from AA. Really, I learned from AA in 12-step meetings. Is they said, at your bottom is that sometimes like you just don't have a way to change. You just can't. You're so set. If you're addicted to something, you're so gone on that addiction, and you've created so many lies in your self-esteem and all your friends and where you live, and everything's against you. But what you go through is a fucking spiritual change. And I don't believe in God, but I believe in spiritual change because I know I've had to do it twice in my life. Okay, one was to get sober and clean. I had to go a spiritual change at 22 years old. And the next one was when I was losing it over the court case in the middle. Never talked about it. Don't know if I ever will. But it was the worst day of my life, by far. And I just fucking, I knew I was just a bomb to explode. I could not, I was mentally disintegrating. I don't know what word to use. It's like you ever watch those Russian tanks getting hit by javelins and stuff? That was me. I was completely blown up, gone, nothing there, nothing to rebuild. Nobody understands, completely lacking in anything that I needed. And I knew it. I knew, here's what I think. I knew I could not do it. I needed outside help. Now, most people say that's God. Okay? And that's totally fine, because anything that gets you through those times when you are absolutely at the lowest point in your life, more power to it. And I think that religious people are right in the sense that they are finding a power greater than themselves. And the power I found was, for me, I don't give up easy. I fucking keep going, no matter fucking what. I am one of those guys, like really, when I see a war movie and the guy's got like 36 bullet holes and he's out of shells and he's sitting in a foxhole and he was in the front lines abandoned, and like there's like 3 guys who got, maimed with the butt of his rifle, and he picked up all their guns and used them on everybody else, and they're all empty. And he's just like a Wolverine to the last fucking, till he finally had nothing. And he got shot and killed. That's fucking me. That's me. That's very inspiring, because that's the way I am. Literally. You might not think so, but you might, if you know me, you come to Summit, who knows what's going to happen in the future? You'll see it in real life, because that's me. It always has been. And people that know me well, shut the fuck up, because they know I am a fucking Wolverine. But, here's the fucking point of this whole video, is that is very valuable. That has saved my ass so many times, I can't tell you. But there's more to learn, and that is giving up. Giving up. Like a child. It's too much for me. And I went in that fucking room. Here's what it was. I was in the pool in Bangkok. And I just knew this was it. I was too much pain. I could not logically, there was nothing I could do. I didn't know any way out. All my things, all my friends, all the love, all the things I felt good about in my life, it was too much for me. If you knew my court case, you'd know. And it just was too much. I couldn't go on. And I went in the bathroom and I just fucking locked the door. And I just fucking cried. I just fucking sobbed. I went down by the bathroom and I was fucking just crying. And I was like, just help me. Help me. I totally gave up. And people say that's a dissolution of ego and everything. Whatever fucking words. I'll tell you the truth is, most time in your life, you need your fucking ego. You build your self-esteem. You need all these other things. But in those times when it's too much, when it's just too much, you can't take it. It's too much. You gotta just get on the fucking ground and just pray to fucking anything. And just pray. Just sob and fucking sob and sob. Trust me, when you come out of the bathroom, no one's gonna get in your way. No one's gonna ask you. No one's gonna ask you what you're doing. Because they know. Men just don't do that. But sometimes you just gotta let it all out. You gotta fucking live. And I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference between living and dying. So some guy asked me to do one on suicide, and that's my video. That's it. Sometimes you just gotta do that. And I'm telling you, miracles happen. Whew. I can't really put it into words. I wish I could right now, but I just let go, man. I let go of everything I tried to do. I let go of all my dreams. I let go of anybody giving a shit about anything. I just let go of all human fucking shit. And I said, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not up for the battle. I can't do it. I totally did it. And that's the thing. It's amazing. If you guys want some power, learn what I'm talking about. Because a lot of guys out there, they don't know what to do. You gotta give up. At some point, there's gonna be one time in your life, hopefully not two, where you just gotta fucking give up. I mean, if I was really going to put it in a nutshell, I'd say it was only one for me. And that was over my daughter. That was the only one. Getting sober didn't mean shit. Like, it really didn't. And the pain from anything I went through then, it was literally like a skin on the rug compared to, like, you know, a piano landing on you and tanks running over you and someone lighting you up and barbecuing you and taking the fucking ashes and sending them into space and blowing them up with a nuclear weapon and sending fucking javelins to kill the dust. You know what I mean? There's just nothing, you know, just nothing, you know. And I if you need something in your back pocket, a real gem, this is it. At the lowest point in your life, there's no talking you can do. There's nobody that can help you. Get alone. You can save it up. You can feel it coming on. Get alone, so nobody you know is going to hear. And even if they do, it's okay. Because there is a point where you can't hold it back. But get in there and just fucking admit your fucking incompetence and all your weaknesses and all the dumb things you decided and all the things you did. And you know you fucking, you know, like, it's just so unfair. And it's just like, oh, everything just, and I don't, even those things I'm saying them, they don't mean shit. It's the letting go. It's the asking for help. Just ask. Just say, I don't know what's up there, but God, if you're there, like, fucking help me. Like, help me. Help me. You know what I mean? Just fucking help me. You know, I can't go. I don't know. I have no answers. And it is amazing. It is amazing what happens after that. I'm telling you, it is amazing. It changed my life after that moment. I'm not the same guy anymore. And it's not that I gave up. It's not that my ego was dissolved. But kind of like I'm talking with physical stuff. You get points where you're going to wear yourself out if you use too much heart. You know what I mean? You gotta manage it somehow. And manage it is one thing. But I'm talking about the pressure cooker blowing up and letting it blow up on your terms. Just letting it feel like you're going to, almost felt like I was going to suffocate. Because I thought I broke a rib twice because I was sobbing so hard. And it was just incredible. It was incredible. And afterwards I knew I had seen there was some kind of a glow to my face. It was weird. I didn't know logically, but I knew something very, very meaningful happened. Very, very meaningful. And if life gets too hard, try this. Try this. But let it build up. I don't know how to try this because you can't plan this. This is like, I guess you got to be open to it. Just be open to it. Just be open to an absolute inventory of your soul and a collapse of everything you know and a letting go of you're hanging on the cliff, let go. Just go off the cliff. Just fucking let go of everything. Let go of everything you're holding on to. And there's an amazing thing. There's an amazing thing. This is your only defense against the collapse of your soul. It's the only one. There's nothing else known to man. Because it gets where logic don't fucking matter. And what anybody says doesn't matter. How much people love you doesn't matter. Because the pain is too great for you. You've gone past you probably, if you're like me, you've gone past what many, many men could take. So you got everything to be proud of when you're done. And also you learn a key thing. Is at the bottom line is we are fragile beings. You know, we are fragile beings. And we need each other. You know, we need women. We need men. You know, I think we need the truth to happen. But it hasn't happened yet. In any case, in any real life, it hasn't happened yet. So a lot of guys are just waiting for an excuse to get married. They're just like, yeah, I'm red pill, yeah, okay, I'll get married. Because this one's special. It happens all the time. Trust me. I'm on this channel. I find out because people tell me. It happens you don't know how many guys you've listened to, content creators, who said the opposite and never were honest with you. Trust me, it's a lot of guys. And they're just not being, that's the other thing, is no matter how painful it is, be honest. And I'm telling you, never give in. I have not bought Gillette since the fucking, the fucking whole thing, right? If I bought by mistake, like I was in different places, you know, I was like, maybe I used one or bought one, I don't know. But I mean, I didn't actively. So many times, here's what happened to me. I go into the fucking store and I see Gillette and I'm like, fuck. And then no matter how shitty the dollar rate is, I've been trying to get to the dollar store forever because they don't have Gillette because they make too much money. And I've been buying there. I had to buy it at a couple CVS, so maybe, I don't know. It's possible, actually, it's possible I did break my rule once in the last, 2 years? But it wasn't on purpose. It was not, I did not notice it. I did not know. Maybe I did and maybe I didn't. I'll find out. I'll update you guys. I think truth matters. If I did, I'll let you guys know. But that's it, guys. Stick with it. You don't know how many guys don't stick with it. You think you're in the red pill community and all these guys stick with it. They don't. Part-time, weekend red pillers are everywhere. If you really want the benefits, if you think you're right, okay, if you think that your judgment is accurate, then you got to stick with it. If you don't think you're right and you think, getting married in the West is a great idea, or even getting married in general, go do it. Fucking go do it, But admit you're not red pill. And you never really were, You never really were. You were something else. And that's fine. But I think personally, and this ain't about an ego thing. It's the same thing. Like I was talking about that episode in Austin where I talked about the children being kidnapped in China. Like, I never walk by. I don't accept kids being abducted and forced to beg. You know what I mean? No matter how good my day is going, no matter how shiny it is and happy, I fucking say something or I do something. Because I just don't ever change on those type of justice issues. I would do it on the way to my own funeral if I could. Get up and say, fucking, that's, and I think that is just, all it is just believing in something. Nobody believes in anything. They just bail out so easy these days. Your fellow men, Think about it. Before you commit to being like absolutely, until things change, never, ever getting married, until you commit to that, take a time to relax and think about it. Are you holding reserves? Are you waiting for the right one that's going to be different, and just go into the same thing? I just watched a divorce lawyer. She said the worst divorce cases she's ever seen are stay-at-home moms and teachers, because they don't have any other options. Very few. And they get used to a better standard of living. So they're the ones who are going to fuck you over. That's the reality. One second. So, just go ahead and think about that. Think about that. Think about it, the whole thing again. Where do you stand on shit? Put it in the comment box. Where do you fucking stand? You've thought about it. You've had time. A lot of you guys been on for 4 or 5 years. Think about where you've gone to be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? If you wavered and if you don't really see it that way or this way, put it in, and I'll respond, because I really enjoy this truth. I think this is what's missing in the red pill community, is guys telling on themselves and tell them the truth. Because a lot of guys are in this community and they're out, and then they just kind of come back as a vacation, and nobody knows any better, right? I'm not saying you have to do it. Don't believe anything you don't want to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all this is wrong. That's what you should consider. That's what you should consider. Maybe it's all fucking wrong. Maybe it's all some kind of weird thing, you misjudged it, and blah, blah, blah. What do you believe? Where do you stand, and what are your facts? All right. All right, guys. Hope that's been helpful. I got to go to do some more work, and I'm going to say again, thank you very much. And, it's been a pleasure of my life doing this channel. So appreciate you guys' comments and everything. All right. See you later.